It has to do with politics, the sponsors, people that feel that this country should be Islamized. End game of Islamizing this country.
That's for the terrorists, the bandits.
It's not for the terrorists and the bandits, for the sponsors. Because I told you, and I will repeat on this channel, the sponsors of Boko Haram and the bandits are the problems. And defense headquarters, the army headquarters, the naval headquarters, the air force cannot do anything about that. Buhari has to do something about that. The Interpol has the list of those people that are sponsoring Boko Haram. I work with Interpol. They should ask, if they don't know, they should ask. The government of Dubai, they have the list of those people. During the trial of those people that were caught, names were mentioned. They have the list. You remember this Boko Haram issue started since 2012.
Yeah.
And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. And they mention names. I mean, I can't come on the air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know. Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Aso Rock. Why should a government try to cause this kind of embarrassment and insecurity to the sense of what happened yesterday? And the solution I gave them in 2017, because when I identified the center of gravity for General Shocking, and they couldn't pursue it, because some of them were ministers. And what I'm saying now, the Department of State Services are listening to me. They know them. Issue of sponsors of Boko Haram that were in Buhari's government, that we know them.
When you say we, who
I was in the military intelligence. And the defense headquarters staff that I work with, they know. And that was why we couldn't pursue that aspect that could have resolved that problem. Because you need to arrest people. And recently, 400 people were gathered as sponsors of Boko Haram. Why is it that Buhari government has refused to try them?
So the government knows sponsors of Boko Haram?
Of course, it's in the news. In April this year, the government said they have arrested 400 Bureau de Change related, people that were sponsoring Boko Haram. They told us. And Abu Dhabi also helped us to arrest few Nigerians. Tried them. We know them. Why can't this government, if not that they are partisan, and they are actually part of the charade that is going on, why can't they bring those people out for trial?
So the Bureau de Change operators on the one hand, but you particularly said people in government. Are those part of the Bureau de Change, or those people that you say are in government are still there, government is aware, and government is condoning them?
The people I mentioned that are in government are not these ones they just arrested. You remember this Boko Haram issue started since 2012.
Yeah.
And I was in the military intelligence that time. We arrested those people. It is my organization that actually conducts interrogation and interview. And they mention names. I mean, I can't come on the air and start mentioning names of people that are presently in government now that I know. Presently in government. That the boys that we arrested mentioned. Some of them are governors now. Some of them are in the Senate. Some of them are in Aso Rock. Why should a government try to cause this kind of embarrassment and insecurity to the sense of what happened yesterday? And the solution I gave them in 2017, because when I identified the center of gravity for General Shocking, and they couldn't pursue it, because some of them were ministers. And what I'm saying now, the Department of State Services are listening to me. They know them.
Yeah, Commodore.
So the solution I gave them was that if we can't pursue the policy strategic level because the people that we need to talk to are also, going to be difficult to deal with. I said what they should do now is to conduct two things. We should buy blimps. The blimps are not UAVs. They are not drones. Blimps are equipment. Stopping them is like when you are a member of a church and your pastor have decided to be at a certain level of spiritualism and you're a member of that church. You cannot be higher than your pastor spiritually. You can't. No matter what you do.
So this is the same religion you spoke about?
Yes. In real life, you see that the defense secretaries cannot conduct any operations that is not sanctioned by the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. Yeah. They cannot.
No matter how small, little
they cannot. So when the Yar'Adua government decided to put an end to Niger Delta militancy, that was in 2007. What he did was simple. He called all the security chiefs and all the intelligence chiefs and tasked them to come up with a solution. The Defense Intelligence Agency, the National Intelligence Agency, the Department of State Services were called with the Inspector General of Police and the Interpol to come up with the solution to the problem. Then the problem was Niger Delta. The president was Yar'Adua. He was dispassionate. He wanted to solve the problem. Within 6 months, we solved the problem. I remember I have to go to Angola to go and bring Herioka, and nobody in Nigeria knew what we did. All we know is that since 27, 28 that we conducted our operation under Yar'Adua, Niger Delta issue has remained manageable. This government does not want to resolve this problem. They are escalating it because of tribal and religious sentiments.
So when you say this government does not want to resolve it, don't forget the same government has purchased. In fact, they're going to induct the Sopeto Kano jet because of, the insecurity situation. They have, the president has had to change guards, as it were, as a result of people's clamor. I imagine if that was not in the thinking, why would you go that length to make some of the, some of the pronouncements, the meetings that have happened, the purchase, the change of guard and the rest? Why would they do all that if they don't want to sort this?
Because that is not the solution. What you just mentioned is not the solution. When you have a problem at policy level, strategic level, operational level, when you have a problem, what you need to do is to identify the center of gravity of that problem and attack it. That's what you do. What they are doing is not attacking the center of gravity of the problem of Boko Haram and insurgency. So if the president is buying Super Tucano, is changing service chiefs, that is not the solution. We are looking at the wrong side. It's not kinetic. It's politics.
Are you ruling out kinetic altogether?
I can't rule out kinetic because
so it's
a spectrum. It's a spectrum, so you can't rule out something. But the center of gravity is what they should look at. And what is it? I'm saying it on this channel. It is the sponsor of Boko Haram and bandits.
And speaking about the sponsors, when you say the DSS, and they could be listening to you, but so they profile, part of their responsibility is to profile all of these persons before they either vie for elections or before, they are nominated for any of these positions. Doesn't that happen? Don't they get intel and say, look, this and this is what we found, and then we don't think that this should proceed further? Doesn't that happen?
It does. When I worked with the DSS in 2007, because when Yar'Adua approved the operational order that we did, we now have to work together as a team. He actually forced all of us to sit down together and work together. I was surprised at the tremendous amount of information had by DSS. I was shocked. We in DI, I was in Defense Intelligence Agency, and when they were forced to bring